So what does it mean to go into industry as a physician?
I did get some reactions that I was selling out.
Some people thought I was having a midlife crisis.
Corporate, profit-driven, bureaucratic.
The short answer to your question is I was worried.
When I was in medical school, everybody knew it as the dark side.
There are so many misconceptions around what it means to go into industry.
I'm happy to say that I haven't met Darth Vader so far.
I do see pharmaceutical physicians as being a continuum of exactly the journey that we started on when we entered medical school. It's very much a discipline within medicine.
I've not left medicine. It is an alternative career path for medicine.
I still get out of bed thinking about patient unmet need. Industry absolutely relies on having physician scientists.
It's only through making new drugs that we can really change things for patients.
So I'm accountable for taking a target hypothesis around a completely new area of biology and making it a medicine that impacts patients.
I work in steatotic liver disease. We identify new targets, make sure that the experiments that we do run are likely to show whether the drug is working.
I designed the early phase clinical studies to try and understand how drugs work.
I'm a GSK global health physician, making a difference for tuberculosis, developing new drugs and eliminating this horrible disease.
I make sure that our healthcare professionals and the people who receive our vaccines have all the right data to make sure that they can make the right decisions for their vaccinations.
I work in immuno-oncology. I play a very important role in making sure patients are safe whilst they are taking our drugs.
I decided to be a doctor for precisely the same reasons that I'm still a pharmaceutical professional, which is that I wanted to help patients that are suffering.
My dad was a medical doctor himself. I was really inspired by the impact he had. We all go to medical school because we want to make a difference in the lives of patients.
The really hard thing about being a GP is you never quite feel that you can do enough. I wanted to have a broader impact on patients.
I was doing what I could with the medicines we had. When you realize that something perhaps doesn't do what it could, then you start to look at the reasons why and how you can make them better.
I wanted to do research, but I didn't have the opportunities to do so.
I came to the appreciation that actually if I wanted to do clinical trials, actually industry could be a good way of getting involved in that kind of work.
What really inspired me was that interface between clinical medicine, the patients, and then scaled impact through research and innovation.
In companies like GSK, there are many opportunities for people to move across.
It was while I was a clinical academic working on the science and the clinical side that I heard about the possibilities that might be available in the pharmaceutical industry.
We at GSK have established institutional level strategic alliances with, for example, the University of Oxford or Cambridge, where we have opportunities for individuals to be seconded on the clinical side or on the industry side.
It took me a few years, I think, to come to the decision that I wanted to move into industry because it was a big step for me at the time.
I actually did some career coaching and I was really lucky to have the opportunity to move into industry as a result of that.
I had the luxury before making the jump of working quite closely with industry as a consultant.
I got a phone call and there was a job at GSK on developing new TB drugs, and that for me was a dream.
The job was available, I applied, and the rest then brought me into GSK.
Of course, like everything, it's a steep learning curve.
When you're in medical school, you learn about cardiology, neurology, ophthalmology, gastroenterology, and all the orgies. You never hear about drug development or pharmaceutical medicine.
I think when you get into industry, you have this sudden revelation that there's lots of people like you.
I didn't find a money-hungry company that is just thinking about profits. What I found was a company that really understands that we have an unmet need, that we do need new drugs to make a difference.
I think the scale of what we're able to achieve in the industry is really quite inspiring because if we can innovate to provide a new therapeutic solution, then that can obviously reach millions of patients.
I think one of the things that's most rewarding For me, working for GSK is the people.
You meet so many people who are experts in their field from so many different backgrounds.
I feel like we're at the forefront of science. I find that everyone's trying to work together to get the best outcome for patients.
That's so rewarding to be able to work with fantastic, brilliant minds from all over the world.
I love the fact that I've had the opportunity to travel the world and to understand new cultures.
The fantastic thing about working in industry is that the learning never stops. Technology is advancing so quickly and we're adopting that technology in real time ultimately. You can also move between different disciplines within the industry, so the journey really never stops.
I found myself in academia on steroids. It's really, truly exhilarating.
There used to be this misconception that it was a one-way road. When you decided that you wanted to move into the private sector, most of us remain licensed to practice and many of us still see patients.
I maintain my clinical practice as a hepatologist.
I do a clinic once every 2 weeks.
I volunteer as an honorary consultant in the NHS. GSK pays for that.
For the medical students thinking about a career in industry, the first thing to remember is your career is long, and you've got to work out what your passion is.
The world is a big place, and that there is a lot of opportunity out there.
The type of traits we see that are particularly successful in the industry is that scientifically minded clinician who has an interest in strategic delivery and problem solving.
I would most definitely think about a career in pharma or even just a short stint.
People come on secondment to industry for a year. Other people have come into industry for 2 or 3 years and then decided that they wanted to go back.
See it as a part of the richness of your career journey and just a huge opportunity.
If I had to give one word that describes the work that I do,
Inspiring.
One word:
exciting.
Impact.
Innovation.
ambitious.
Patient focus. That's not one word.
I think if my dad was to see me now, he'll be absolutely proud. And I don't think he could ask for a better daughter. He's got more than one, but...
I wish my 18-year-old self could see me now and have the confidence to just go for it, maybe earlier than I did.
I think I've got the best job in the world. I use skills that I took many years to train in. I learn new skills every day, and I'm able to integrate those with the skills of others to deliver impact for patients.
I deem myself very privileged to be in this position, to be able to impact lives on a global scale and make a difference in people's lives.